Hi friends, thank you so much for stopping by. So today I wanted to talk about living a child-free life by choice. So I am approaching my 30s. My fiance is already in his 30s. God willing, we'll be getting married this fall. And yeah, we just made that agreement. I mean, I think separately we both felt the same way, and then coming together, that was also something that I made sure to talk about from the very beginning. I don't like to waste my time, so if not having kids is going to be a deal breaker, I like to know that right away. Also, disclaimer, I'm not trying to tell anyone what they should be doing. I'm just explaining my personal choice in not wanting to have kids in this lifetime. And my mom is very traditional. She's very old-fashioned. She's very religious. So she does not like that we're going to be child-free by choice. She has never liked that idea, and we're going to get to the crazy stuff that she has said to me over the past couple of years in a little bit. But basically, I've always felt this way. I feel bad because I used to say, oh, I don't like kids, I don't like kids, I hate kids. And hate is a very strong word. I didn't mean that. That just comes out of frustration because at my job, you know, my fiance is a zookeeper, and when I worked seasonally trying to facilitate interactions between children and animals, it's really hard, especially if the children are not cooperating and the parents are glued to their phone or something. It's a little stressful when people, even adults, don't have respect for animals. So that being said, I've always felt that I didn't want kids, and that feeling has only gotten stronger as I've gotten older, and if that makes me selfish, that is completely fine. I feel like people are very dismissive to people who don't want kids, especially if you're kind of on the younger side. It's like if you're young and you have a baby, it's like you're too young to be having that responsibility. But if you're young and you say you don't want kids, then you're also too young to be making that decision. It's like you cannot win with certain people. Like, it doesn't matter what you do or what you say, they always have a problem. There's always a stigma with what you're doing. I am surrounded by people that really, really love kids. So I'm super excited for when my best friends have children, because both of my best friends absolutely adore kids, and they're both in like fields that help kids in some way. I like the aesthetics of children. Like, I like baby clothes, I like baby toys, I like seeing kind of childhood development and learning more. I do watch a lot of mommy vloggers, not the exploitative type, not family vloggers with millions of subscribers that kind of exploit their children. Nothing makes money on YouTube like kids and babies. Nothing. But like the normal day-to-day moms that just share their struggles or the way that they're navigating through motherhood. I love those types of videos. And you know, I never understood the sacrifices my mom made being my mom until I was much older. Like, when we would be in elementary school and they'd be like, talk about your role model, and people would say their mom, I'd be like, really, your mom? Like, that's your role model? I didn't get it. It just didn't click. But now that I'm older, I can see that being a mom is such an amazing, challenging, rewarding job. That's truly not something that I want to do. I think I'm a cold person, and I would hate to bring a child into this world and not be able to give it the love that it deserves, because a child does not have a say in being conceived. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're just here. It's not a consensual thing. Like, I would like to be born into this world. So that being said, I wouldn't want to be in a position where I cannot give this child everything they deserve. And I think we'd like to be optimistic and say like, hey, it's going to be different when it's your child, but you don't know that. That's not a guarantee, and I'm not willing to take that chance with a living, breathing person. Do you know what I mean? Can I technically change my mind? Absolutely. And if I do, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But right now, my fiance and I are pretty set on not having kids, and my mom just cannot deal with it. It's really hard on her. I get it. She has a very traditional, in my opinion, antiquated way of thinking, because they often say, and I'm sure you've heard this before, who's going to take care of you when you're old? And I'm not gonna have a child just for the sole purpose of having a backup plan of what to do when I'm elderly, because my parents are really old. They're in their 70s, and I would never tell this to them personally, but it's daunting to think about my parents and what I'm gonna have to do once they get to a point where they can't be by themselves, or they might not be able to take care of themselves in the same way that they have earlier in their life. Like, that's a daunting thing, and that's kind of a burden, in my opinion. Like, it's gonna take, you're either gonna be in like a little senior home, or we're gonna have care that comes here, like a nurse or something, you know what I mean? And that's expensive, that's daunting, that's stressful to think about, especially because my parents are a little bit older for my age. I think they had me a little bit late in life, so I don't want to have a kid just so that they're gonna take care of me. I wouldn't want to place that stress on my child. I mean, of course they'd be an adult by then, but no, it's just not something I want. Environmentally, I feel like there's already so many kids, we're so overpopulated, we do not take care of the planet we currently have, and it's very depressing to see everything that's happening with this world. And yes, the environment has kind of perked up since the shutdown, but now that everyone's going back to normal, flights are back to normal, cruises will soon be going everywhere, any sort of positive change we've seen because of the shutdown and the decrease in the human activity in this world is absolutely gonna revert back. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna happen. And what kind of world is my child gonna inherit when they come and everything is a hot mess? We do not know how this planet's gonna look in the next 30 years. I just don't think there's much to see. This world is falling apart, and both literally but also kind of figuratively. I kind of see my life surrounded by animals, not just because my fiance is a zookeeper and that's kind of the field that I want to go into, but just because I really love them. And the idea of having pets to me is just a lot of fun. It's very rewarding, it's very fulfilling. And I know my mom hears that and she's like, what are you talking about? I got guinea pigs last year, or almost 2 years ago, and she was so offended. She was so offended that I would possibly get guinea pigs instead of wanting to have kids. And the two do not compare. I have a very dysfunctional relationship with my mom. She's very intense. She's very extreme in her opinions, and there's no other way other than the way that she's talking about. Also, side note, I don't really have a lot of family. We both don't have family on either side. So I never grew up with grandparents. I never grew up with like a bunch of cousins and stuff. All my family is overseas and I would see them occasionally, but there's a level of detachment there. And so it's not like my child would be coming into a world with a big family. That would not be the case. My parents are very elderly, so I don't really know, realistically speaking, how long they would be there for my child's life. So I don't feel guilty about having kids or not having kids. There's nothing, like, I don't feel like I'm missing out. I don't feel like I'm gonna regret it. I feel like all my life people always tell me I'm gonna regret. You're gonna regret that decision. You're gonna regret this and that. And I feel like there are regrets that I have in life, but it's never those. It's never the ones people point out. It's more like, hey, I wish I had studied a little bit more in school, or hey, I wish I hadn't majored in theater in college. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of regrets that I have. Excited for when my friends have kids, because I'm excited to be near them. I'm excited to see that type of love, that bond, that development that's gonna happen, but I just don't want it for myself. Also, in terms of self-esteem, I feel like I have a lot of body image problems, a lot of deep-rooted issues, and I feel like having a kid, having a child, going through pregnancy would really exacerbate that. Like, I feel like that would become a really big issue. My mom, when I was a child, would say, I feel like, really inappropriate things about how pregnancy ruined her body, how me and my brother both did, with her being pregnant with us. And like, first of all, I don't think you should say that to a child, but second of all, that really stuck with my head. And like, I really just feel like I already have a love-hate relationship with my body. I feel like it would only get worse with the changes that come with pregnancy, because some of those are long-term. And yeah, I just don't want to do that. I'm just not about that life, guys. I'm not. Let me know how you feel down below. Do you want kids? How many? Let me know if you don't want children. I would love to hear your thoughts. Share them, because I feel like sometimes child-free people by choice are very rare to come by. Like, I haven't met anyone really who feels the same way. There was something I wanted to say, it was at the tip of my tongue and I cannot remember, so I'm sitting here trying to wait for it to come back to me, but it's not. So I might do a part 2. I might do a follow-up. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what your thoughts are on this topic, and maybe we could do a part 2 and I could share your responses. So until then, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video for future content, and I upload videos 3 times a week. Thank you to my channel members for helping support this channel through difficult times. If you would like to join the Bunny Club, I have the link in my description box as well. And that being said, I'll see you later. Bye.